Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 197. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson, having some chest pains right now. Adrian Petty's right there, and Matt Lawrence is right there.
Hello.
Yeah. So if I just start acting weird and drop dead.
Okay. As he drinks his tea.
No, Matt. We need to figure out what we're taking.
What we're taking?
If he drops dead, we have to split up his stuff.
Oh, well, I get the Xbox One.
Well, you already have one.
Yeah, but that one's nicer.
Then can I have yours?
No, because it's the first series that came out.
Fuck you.
I mean, you guys can make some pretty good bank down here.
Yeah, you know what?
There's about $1,000 here. There's $1,000 in comics over here. Thousands of dollars of instruments.
You know what? I decided. If you drop dead, I'm just going to kill Matt. And I'll just take it all myself.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
That'd be the most profitable solution. You guys fight to the death. And then you had to fight
what
past
if you got caught? What if you had to spend money not getting caught?
There's my parents who are going to be asking some questions.
Well, you're covered in blood and two people are dead down there.
What was all that sound down there?
I got to take this amp home. That's a weird one.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind. I'm dead. I don't care.
I'm going to mind because I'm going to be probably slowly killed by this guy.
Who knows if he's already planted the seeds in that coffee.
That's really gross. Don't look at me like that.
On the show today, we got some stories like the PlayStation game mascots are getting Amiibo-like figures.
Oh yeah, what the feature that everyone's been waiting for.
And the funny thing is, they don't do anything.
Even better,
you just put them on your desk,
just like your username on PSN.
Nintendo is shutting down their very first smartphone game, Miitomo.
Oh,
goodbye, Miitomo. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
is it called Miitomo? I don't remember the name of it. BioWare got a couple stories for BioWare this week. A report that Anthem has been delayed and that Dragon Age has been rebooted, so to speak, and will feature live elements. And we'll start talking about what that means. Ubisoft is launching Sam, a virtual assistant, because we need more of those in the world.
Ubisoft.
Yep. Star Wars Battlefront 2's progression system being revamped. And we're also going to talk about Sea of Thieves, which none of us have played, but we're hearing some reports of the game. I just want to kind of talk about it since we're all somewhat interested in at least getting the game or looking into the game more as we get closer to release. But we're going to start with what's new. Matt Lawrence, what's new?
I picked up the Monster Hunter World last night.
Yep.
So it was launched, and picked it up a couple hours after launch, digitally, and pretty good. I played the beta, the last beta, not all of them. There was a couple of them, but I played the latest beta, and it was pretty fun. So I'm playing the light bow gunner. For fans of the series will know you kind of like choose a weapon and then upgrade that weapon and kind of master it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing that. So it's all right. The multiplayer though is a little strange. So, for example, you start the game. It's kind of very tutorial-esque, right? And there's cutscenes and stuff, dragging you through the story, and then also doing that, which is fine. But then it's really weird. It's like you get to the main city, you do a couple of quests, and then it's like, okay, get ready to do this other quest. And then a pop-up shows up and it's like, hey, do you want to enable online mode? And I was going to go play with Tim, so I was like, yeah. So he was already past me, so he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I already have that enabled, so we should be able to play together. So I say yes to the online mode. All of a sudden, this status window, almost like a chat window, appears, and all these people start flooding in. So I was like, okay, this is weird, but maybe it's like a general hub.
Mm-hmm.
I get an invite from Tim. I accept it. I then unload. It then takes me back and it says, "What character do you want to load in as?" So I select the character I just created. It takes me back to the city I was just in because there's only one city in the game that I know of, and then I can't see him, and no one else is there in the session. But I can't even see where Tim is. Now, I'm not fully familiar with the menus and stuff, so, if I'm missing something obvious, total mistake. But, so then Tim's like, oh, you have to go to this, hub area. So I was like, okay, so we go to the hub area, and we can see each other. And then, the hub is connected to the city. And then the city, I guess, is your single player. But if I'm in the single player and boot up a mission, I can invite Tim to it. But then his tutorial mission was, blocking him. So he's like, oh, you can't do that. So we decided at this point, we're like, okay, this is too convoluted. We're still in the middle of the tutorial.
Yeah.
Let's just do the tutorial, get it done with. So that took a while. I'm still not done it, as far as I know. I think I might be on the last part. Tim's done it, and he messaged me tonight, and he was saying that apparently you can't play multiplayer in quests that have cutscenes. Now, I was under the speculation that maybe it's because they want you to just do hunts with other players online. Oh, this is a hard creature to kill. Do this hunt. But if it's like a story mission, like, oh, this like wyvern is hurting the village, go like take it out, then it's supposed to be more like you go do it. And they don't want the single player and the multiplayer to bleed together to allow you so that when your friends are not online, you still have something to do that's
Right.
new. That's totally my speculation, and I haven't experienced this yet because I'm still in the tutorial. But in traditional sort of Japanese game fashion, it's very different than a Western game in terms of lobbies and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a little getting used to. But the game is extremely fluid, runs really well. Like I said, I'm playing the bow gunner, and I've had no real slowdowns or anything like that. So the technical part of it's pretty good. So I'm just kind of stumbling through the menus just because they do things a little differently. But other than that, pretty happy with the purchase so far.
It's kind of amazing how big this game kind of exploded. I know it's very popular in Japan and even to here to some extent on like 3DS, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Normally where it is. But this one is like came out of nowhere. There's a special PS4 Pro with a special Monster Hunter design and a controller. So there's bundles there and stuff. From the reviews I've seen so far, it's been getting pretty good reviews.
Yep.
And people seem to be talking about it. So
well, it's one of those
pretty
games.
Impressive.
It was one of those games, right, where it's like the concept is cool, where it's like there's just these huge monsters, and it's sort of like a pseudo medieval world.
Yeah.
Where it's like kind of fantasy-esque, right, with its own
No
twist.
machine guns.
No, what's that?
No machine guns, right?
Well, no
can't
machine
just
guns,
run
but
in
you
there.
have these like bow guns and stuff. So like there's that, and like it's just sort of like a cool idea where it's like 4+ people go into a match, and they like take down some big dragon or something, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool in that way, but it still has like the classic sort of RPG tropes. So it's like, for example, I'm using, like I said, the light bow gun, and so there's like a tree. So it's like you have to upgrade it to this, and then you have to choose. Do you want like I don't actually have the real stuff, but it'd be like, do you want fire or lightning? And then if you go into lightning, now it's like, okay, now you just keep enhancing your lightning. But there's like constant splits off the tree.
Yeah.
That's not like super convoluted, but like it's like you could have multiple. Like I could restart my bow gun, for example, make the base weapon, and then go down another tree, and then I have 2 different ones, and I could be like, oh, this one's fire because this type of creature is bad against fire. That one's bad against electricity or whatever. So that's kind of a cool aspect. One of the problems I'm finding right now, though, is I've never played a bow gunner in the other games. I have played the other games a little bit. Not like didn't get super into them, but so I was always like a melee guy, whether it be dual sword and shield, whatever.
Yeah.
There's also the really big weapons, almost Final Fantasy-esque weapons, like just massive swords and stuff. Never did that either. Too slow for me. But what I found is now I have to make my own ammo. So there's a generic ammo called normal ammo, and that's infinite, but it's very weak and doesn't really have many effects. I have to go out in the bush now, in the hidden forest, I think it's called, and I have to run around, or maybe called the ancient forest. But anyway, I have to run around and collect like mushrooms and stuff and make my own ammos. So while everyone else, as long as they're collecting their goods, like, because you have to like carve like the bones off the monsters and stuff to make better weapons, as long as they're doing that in the quest and grinding a bit, to get the better materials, they can just kind of advance and be like, okay, next quest. Me,
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I'm out of ammo. I gotta go out into the forest, go grab some like mushrooms, come back to the base, and just like craft up these mushrooms into like new bullets. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Like it's going to be a little bit of a grind for me. But I think those might be my podcast moments where I toss on a podcast, no one's online. I'll just go stock up on ammo.
Yeah.
People are online, then I'll play.
So there is a story though. You said there's cutscenes.
There is a
but
story.
The characters talk and stuff, or how's that work? What is it?
So there's fully voiced cutscenes, and there's some areas of the game that are fully voiced, but some of it is like they'll just say a word like "hey," and then you have to read the text, so it has a little bit of that in there.
Yeah.
But it's really weird because some of it is fully voiced even in the world, so it's a little bit strange on what is voiced and what isn't. There's just a couple of things like that where it's like, what is that? But at the end of the day, for you ultimately, like you have to read the tutorials, like I would suggest, because like there's a lot to this game. There's bounties, expeditions, a whole bunch of stuff, right? But like if you were playing it, realistically speaking, the cutscenes are going to lead you through the story. Like the story so far seems like it's very simple.
Yeah. I can't stand reading like dialogue only.
It seems like a cop out sometimes.
But I do notice it seems to be like a trend with a lot of Japanese games to do similar things to that. And otherwise, it's like more mobile stuff, which makes sense. You've got smaller budgets for a smaller game, and you don't want to have all that storage on a smaller media platform. Do you know what I mean?
I would almost say that it's also because typically when you're in a mobile setting,
You
I don't want to be.
want
I don't want
blasting
like
audio.
full voice inside of a cafe.
Yeah.
And like, sure, I could wear headphones, but what if you're with some people?
But
It's a little bit awkward.
When playing a console game, I always find it cheapens the experience. It feels like you're playing something that's not of the same caliber quality. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little amazing that that Star Wars MMO had full voice.
They had thousands and thousands of pages of dialogue.
Like that's a little crazy, right?
But it feels fantastic. Like I think it's worth it as long as it's not like cost ineffective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like but one of the things about those games though, and I just started thinking about this. I remember when I played that game, I had the subtitles on, and I basically read the subtitles, and I would read the subtitles faster than they got through the script, and I would skip the little pieces.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where I was like, maybe that's why. Maybe that's the thing there. Maybe that's the thing in Japan, and even here, where it's like if I can just read it faster, I want to get the gist of what they're talking about, and I want to move on.
Well, I hate it too because what's weird about the SOTOR one is that in like things like WoW and stuff, people just blast through. If they've already played the quest 1,000 times, they just blast through the dialogue, right? They don't even read it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like weird for them to spend all this time where people may only view it once, if at all, the spoken dialogue.
Yeah, like
a lot of MMO.
Yeah,
I know a lot of MMO players only play it just to play the MMO. They don't necessarily get too deep into the story. They just want to go smash the monsters or something.
Yeah, there's a series called Torchlight on PC, and I know a bunch of people that play it. Not one of them know the story. It's like an isometric, top-down view game, sort of like a Diablo-esque. And they I've asked them what's this game about? They're like, well, it's an isometric, whatever. Like they'll say literally what I just said. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, but what it's about? They're like, I don't know. Like they literally don't know. And they played it through multiple times. They just don't know. They just don't care.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Hey, Geronimo, what's new? You playing Hearthstone over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to do the brawl. It's a co-op this week.
It's a co-op this week.
Yeah,
which means
so it's me and the opposing hero. We're actually on the same side, and there's a boss minion on the field, and we have to take him down.
Oh, okay. Are you also dinging over there, Ryan?
Big time.
Why are you always dinging?
I'm talking to people.
Do you start the conversation before the podcast? You're like,
no.
All right, here we go. Hi there. What's your day like? And
people
then
text me. It's not my fault.
I'm calling BS on you. You're texting yourself.
Not much. I haven't played South Park since last time we were podcasting. I do want to get back to it. I have so many fucking games to play.
You're treating it too much like a job.
What do you mean? How's that treating that too much like a job?
Like you don't have to do the new Overwatch stuff.
I'm not doing
done.
I'm not doing.
Yes, you are. You were doing it with us.
I'm playing Overwatch because I want to play Overwatch, not because of the new stuff. The new stuff has nothing to do with it.
No, but like, okay, well, in that case, then
When the events are on, do you play Overwatch?
yes,
Because of the event?
yes.
That's what he's referring to that, I guess.
yeah, like you don't need to do Overwatch. Like if you truly want to get through this new South Park game or whatever game you're on, you could just say, okay, well, I can't do Overwatch during this time, or it's okay to put down that South Park game, but you don't need to have the South Park being a priority going forward. Like I started Horizon Zero Dawn. I installed it. It's gone. I didn't even finish it.
Guys, you Matt, that's great.
But like, do you really get enjoyment out of treating it like a job? Out of a true queue, you're like, oh man, this is great. I got like a ticket coming up here. I got to finish this high priority ticket.
I don't understand what you're at. Like
You said like you.
I want to play South Park, but I also want to play Overwatch.
Yeah,
And me coming online, seeing who's online, influences what I'm going to play.
yeah.
He's not going to play South Park while we're playing Overwatch.
I mean, he could though.
No, but he's not going to be in the party with us. So if he wants to join our party
Yeah.
and talk and whatever,
Yeah,
he's not going to do that.
we play different games all the time when we're in the party.
I don't play story-based games when in a party. And if I do, I don't listen to him like The Division.
That's weird.
I don't listen to the dialogue.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd explain to you guys what was going on.
Yeah, because
like several times you guys are like, what the hell's going on here? And I'll be like, oh, Jesus
because
Christ.
we're talking and stuff,
Yeah.
and so it's like I'm not gonna use more brain energy to listen to two conversations at the same time.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
just got to split your brain power to learn and do it, and
I
also
don't.
play.
I just don't. That's what I'm saying.
I played some Gran Turismo. I actually bought a game on Steam that I might start called Darkwood. It's a top-down horror survival game.
The hell?
Yeah, I know that sounds.
That sounds cool though.
It sounds like I'll show you a gameplay trailer for it afterwards. But Yeah, it looks really fucking cool and atmospheric. So I actually I want to just like go super dark, headphones on, super loud, and give that a go. So I'm gonna try. I think I already installed it. I'm gonna try to start that soon. But yeah, other than that,
Adding to your Steam collection, are you?
oh yeah, absolutely, constantly. Man, I have a wish list. If it goes on, they figure it out. If it goes on sale, I'm buying it. Like that's just the way it's going.
I'm kind of at a point now where I'm actually getting overwhelmed by free games.
Yeah.
We were all talking. There was a flash sale on, I think it was, on the PlayStation, and I was on there, and I was like, oh, "What's this escapist game?" And I was like looking at it, and I was really close to buying it. It was like $6 or something, whatever it was. And then I log into my Xbox the next day, play a little GTA. I should go into my Ready and do install because it was an update installing GTA. And I scroll down. What the fuck? Got the Escapist full version for free. I was like, what's going on here? Like, so it's just to the point now where like I literally need to check my libraries to be like, do I have this? Because I might.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Because like they gave away Amnesia, the collection. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I already have this in Steam. Turns out I already have it in PlayStation.
Yeah.
So now.
But I don't mind owning one for PC and one for PlayStation.
Yeah, same.
I've purchased games on Steam sales that I've already played and beaten on PS4 just because I want to see how they look on PC. You know what I mean?
Stuff like that's fine.
I'll just buy them for
it's
fun.
$0.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're buying them. That's weird.
But it's a Steam sale, so it's like $5, and I look at it, I get my $5 enjoyment, and I leave.
That's weird. I'm telling you right now, that's weird.
It's worth the $5 to me.
But some people are getting like $100 worth out of the $5 because they're like they've never played it before.
Right.
And they're like, whoa, this is awesome. You know.
Right. All right. Not much new for me. I'm still working my way through Mad Max, which I bought for like $5, but actually playing through this game. And I've cleared one area entirely of all enemy stuff.
I've also bought that game on PlayStation.
I got really frustrated with it and really pissed off and was about to stop playing it. But Matt told me to keep going, and I had to force my way past that. And at a certain point, you get upgraded enough to not just get destroyed by people.
Yes, that is the turning point.
But it was tough getting to that point. It was just frustrating.
What upgrades did you go with? Because you can kind of go with like almost like the rockets, I guess. But then there's like the harpoon.
Those ones are upgraded through a story mission. It's not like you can just buy the rockets.
Oh, okay. I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Certain unlocks have to be unlocked through a story mission. But I had to go for handling because I hated how the car handled.
It still handles like crap. It literally, if you want to pull into a driveway, because it's a relatively precision maneuver, you want to pull into a driveway, you're not pulling into that driveway straight in Mad Max. I'm telling you that right now. No. You're gonna be like off to the side on the lawn.
And some cars are just pissed me off. Chum's buggy is the worst thing to drive.
Oh, Chum's buggy
has zero acceleration.
Shit. Yep.
Like you hit the gas, the car doesn't move.
Yep.
It just sits there.
Yeah. With was it Dinky
where's
D
the
in the
torque
back?
on this thing? It's just like nothing. Just
and it's he's like the master mechanic. So it's like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Unless that's all he can handle, because it's his bucket, right?
Well, he doesn't have the means to get better parts. He's good at what he does, but you're the one who gets all the good parts for the Magnum Opus.
I mean, he could also just ask you to do it.
But the buggy was before you showed up.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, okay.
So I don't think he goes out unless you go out. He doesn't take his own buggy and drive through the hills
and like attack people to get better engines and stuff.
Yeah, so the Magnum Opus is his main car now, I guess.
What's really weird about that game, and I think I mentioned this before, is I played the game and I beat it, and then I was like, oh, I'll do the side stuff, and I just got sidetracked by another game, whatever, because it's low on the priority list once you beat the story for me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, so kind of like kind of retired it a bit, and then I booted it up one day, and I was like, I'm gonna go rip around these mountains. I've never been out here before, and there's like an exploration aspect to that game, and it's one of those really weird things where I was like, I've never even like it's strange. It's such an open world, but I've never once did it occur to me to explore this world.
Mad Max.
Yeah, because I just look on the map. Like I go to the survey points. I look on the map. I get the markers, and I go to the markers. I never actually explore by just going like, oh, what's that?
See, I will never do that. Main missions, credits, done.
Although in this game you need to do it because you will get destroyed.
If it's part like if I can't proceed and I need to do it, I will go do the bare minimum side stuff. To do it. Just like Ryan and I are doing in Borderlands, we're just doing the most XP missions to get to the level 24 so we can do the final mission. And then the DLC.
We need to book another day.
You guys are never.
Yeah, the problem is though right now my Sundays are occupied. I will
there
eventually.
Goes. There goes, man.
Whoa,
there she goes. Hold on a second. What about tomorrow?
Yeah, I can do tomorrow.
There you go. Do it.
Tomorrow, like late morning, because I'm occupied in the afternoon. But let's.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll talk after the podcast.
We'll probably
man.
be doing Ghost Recon after that anyway.
I'll be chirping you guys later because you guys didn't do it.
We could finish it tomorrow.
We'll go appear offline, so you can't bother us, Matt,
That is fine, good sir.
because
Fine
it is
by me.
2018, and you're in my safe space.
That was weird.
He's right. He's right. You know.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, but this is about Borderlands. No one's like, I demand Borderland rights.
But anyway, Mad Max. I just wish it had a better. Not I don't want to say better developer because they did a lot of hard work, but like they just a lot of refinements were needed, and it probably would have been a game on the same caliber as Shadow of War.
How far are you into that game? How dark? Because like it's the darkness of the territory that determines I think it's the darkness of the red of the territory.
Yeah.
That determines the danger. How dark of red have you gone? To the reddest or like to the second reddest or like what?
Well, like I said, Jeet's territory is clear. 100%.
Wow.
100% clear.
Holy crap! I didn't think you actually did 100%. I thought you were like, oh, I am completed this. I didn't think you actually
No, yeah, Jeet's territory is completely clear. I'm going to work on Gut Gashes next, and then I got Pink Eyes to do, and then the end of the game.
That's a great name.
Pink Eye?
Yeah.
And then the end of the game.
Okay, so I think it was in Pink Eye or the one you're in. I think
Gut Gash?
I think it was Pink Eye though, because I don't really remember that guy's name. That was when I really got attached to the car combat. I was doing crazy crap where I was like harpooning guys' tires, and instead of like doing the traditional like rip off the tire, I was like hanging on to him and using him like a battering ram because I had more like power and stuff like that. And then that's when I was like since this map is so big, even though I can't find control my car, like holy crap, is the car combat in this game crazy?
Yeah. The funnest parts are going after the convoys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the part. That's what I'm saying. Because those convoys are so dangerous. And it's just crazy.
But we were talking about this, how they're the only ones that make sense because if like two enemy vehicles just find you, you're just like it's basically a demolition derby. You're just driving in circles.
Oh yeah.
And like if you try to drive on a path so you can actually get some decent hits in, because you need speed to do some damage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you drive on like a certain path, either you outrun them or they'll just piss off and leave.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like, well, the individual encounters are not fun.
They're useless. I ignore them totally.
What I love doing though is the
bother.
car will be coming at me, and I'll boost headfirst into it, and it detonates, and you just drive off, and then the people collect your scrap. You're just like
I don't even think I have the people that collect my scrap for me.
you didn't upgrade the strongholds.
I upgraded Jeet, but I don't think I 100%ed them.
I last night I 100% of Jeet's stronghold too.
Wow.
Yeah, because that takes a lot because you need like 500 scrap, and then 1,000 scrap, and then 1,500 scrap. It doesn't benefit you in any way. You just sacrifice scrap to them, and then you have to get all their different, like the water, the oil, the maggot farm, all that stuff. And those benefit you though, which is nice.
That was actually one thing I was going to say is I actually really liked because I did upgrade the strongholds with what I needed, but I liked that it was that the upgrades were something that I needed.
Yeah.
Like I was like, fuck, I'm keep running out of water or whatever.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, get this, and when you like leave a stronghold, your canteen will be filled. I'm like, oh, frick, hell yeah.
I don't know how you ran out of gas. I've never
ran out of gas once,
even come close to running out of gas.
I had to steal some dude's car. It was real bad.
Because like the first thing I did when I got to Gut Gashes was install that freaking oil thing. I was like, I'm not running out of oil. Christ.
I probably should have did that. Yeah.
All right, let's hop into the stories for this week. First up, we have PlayStation game mascots are getting Amiibo-like figures. They're not NFC because PlayStation doesn't have anything compatible with NFC.
You have to plug it in with a micro USB. Is that how that works?
You don't do anything with them. They're just pieces of plastic, decently detailed from what the pictures suggest, and they literally look like Amiibos. They come in the same type of packaging and everything.
I could really do with a Ratchet and Clank one.
Unfortunately, that's not one of the original.
I'm done.
It's not one of the first set of characters they've released.
Oh, so it's gonna be another run.
We assume so. I think they're like $10 in the US, so they'll probably be like $15 here.
Oh, that's not too bad.
And here's the first list of the characters they're doing. The first wave is what it's called. Bloodborne's Hunter, God of War's Kratos, Little Big Planet's Sackboy, Crash Bandicoot, Parappa the Rapper, a Wipeout ship. You know the little ships from Wipeout?
Yeah.
And
Parappa the Rapper isn't that popular, is it?
And the guy from Tekken with the crazy hair, what's his name?
Oh, Heihachi? The old
Heihachi,
guy?
that's right, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I could do with a fucking Hihachi, actually. Fuck yeah. That's not too bad. Sign me up.
My problem is some of these things are not PlayStation exclusives.
It's not
Hihachi is, I think.
it's not PlayStation exclusives per se. It's PlayStation mascots.
Essentially PlayStation
Yeah.
All-Stars.
Yeah, but like the guy from Bloodborne, that's a PlayStation All-Star.
That's an exclusive.
Yeah, that's an exclusive game.
Isn't it on PC?
No, it was made for PlayStation.
Yeah, that's a PlayStation game. The Sony partnered with that game.
Isn't it? Is then the same developers for Dark Souls, right?
Yeah.
Same developer, but
Dark Souls is on PC.
Dark Souls is all over the place.
Bloodborne was made like Sony wanted a game for them, and they got Bloodborne.
They made
All right, never mind. I withdraw my comment.
You know what I could actually deal with is I could do the Radic.
I could buy all of these except for Prappa. I have no connection to Prappa.
You could buy the Wipeout.
Don't buy any of them, guys. It's a slippery slope. Let me tell you.
I guess I don't need Wipeout either.
Well, I don't want the collection. I want specific characters. Ratchet and Clank.
Don't
being
do
one of them.
it, guys. It's a slippery slope.
You told me that me buying the Sonic amiibo was going to be the death of me. I have Sonic and Tom Nook. Amiibo complete.
What's funny is they don't have like Nathan Drake. He's not on there.
That's weird. That would be one that I would figure they'd be like
Joel
day
and
one.
Ellie from Last of Us aren't on there.
Even Ratchet and Clank. That should be on there.
Ratchet and Clank isn't on
Honestly.
there. Yeah. So I don't know how they chose these ones.
Parappa the Rapper.
Maybe they wanted just the biggest kind of
I'm surprised they didn't have Poco Roco or Loco Roco or
just a little like ball thing.
little ball
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Christ.
Trying to think of what else they could have. Aloy? There's no Aloy.
Aloy's newer. Like I maybe they're trying to go. I was gonna say chronologically, but Ratchet and Clank's rather old. That's weird.
And Bloodborne's
Oh, man.
new-ish. Like what's their definition of classic? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe they did a
sales
poll.
numbers.
Yeah.
They probably did a poll.
I'd buy an Aloy though. Jesus.
Oh
But again, this is
no, Horizon is an exclusive.
yeah. Again, this is just the first wave. What if you get the whole? I want them to do the Order 18.
Oh,
The entire
fuck
cast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then now
that.
Adrian
Yeah.
needs to buy Wave 1 because he needs to potentially in the future. He got 1886.
No, but those characters are such cool designs and like their
Oh my God,
outfits
yeah.
are amazing.
That game is so underappreciated.
It just needs if someone should go in.
Just like how somebody hasn't played Fallout 4 yet. Had to shoehorn that one in.
Someone should go in on a PC and
You know
put in better combat into that game, and it'd be fantastic.
It's not terrible combat. It's just dull.
Yeah,
Like it works. It does its job.
I should play that again. PS4
so-
Pro support. Did
It's
they get?
such a good fucking
they get a
game.
PS4 Pro
I
upgrade?
love that game.
Next story here: Nintendo is shutting down its very first smartphone game, Miitomo. This is happening 2 years after its launch. This is their foray into the smartphone app world, which they've had, I guess, 3 successful games.
Do you know how I remember this game? We were actively all playing The Division at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And
were
we
you
were
really?
we were playing it at one point, and somebody died in the dark zone, and we were waiting for them to come back. And you said, I heard like this bloop bloop from your phone, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I'm playing Miitomo, waiting." And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I downloaded Miitomo, and I literally like played it that night. I messaged you later on because we were done, and I said, "What the hell do you do in this game?" You're like, "I don't know," and I said, "All right," and then I took a picture of my folder, and it was gone.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "There it goes." Miitomo.
Yeah. So if you're unfamiliar with Miitomo, which is very possible, it's basically you could create a Mii in it,
Yep.
and you could answer questions.
But you could not bring your Mii from your fucking
From your
3DS or your Wii or your Wii U. You always had every system had a different friends list, had a different Mii. Nothing ever rolled over.
It sucks.
It
really
really
sucks.
does.
And you just ask questions, and could you like put stuff in your room?
I
remember
honestly
that?
haven't played it enough. Honestly.
I don't remember at all.
So this is the statement that comes from Nintendo. We see this app as accomplishing a portion of our goal of getting Nintendo IP into the hands of consumers across a variety of environments worldwide. At the same time, we've seen the numbers of ongoing users for the app decrease. We've decided to discontinue this service so that we can better optimize our operational resources across our entire smart device business. So clearly, just numbers have probably just been dead.
I don't really think there was much to do in that game, albeit I have limited experience with it.
I can't imagine how many people were left still
Like, who
using
was
it.
still playing it on a daily basis? Like, who was
Yeah.
still firing it up? I don't even fire up Animal Crossing anymore.
No.
No.
That one's probably dying. That one, We'll have another story.
I don't think that one's dying. I don't think that one's
I
dying.
think it's still going strong.
Because
Yeah?
there's because people still play the act like the DS games are not far from what you do in that game, and people play those ones religiously.
Yeah.
So it's just like I guess a type of person that just loves Animal Crossing. I got pretty far though. I got a level 30 or something, which I mean, I don't know how relatively far that is in comparison to everybody else, but I'm proud of myself. One might say. Both of you guys texting.
Yeah.
I was talking. Both of you guys just broke off and started texting.
I was listening.
I'm not
writing down. Man, this fucking Matt guy
No,
keeps
I'm
talking and he just keeps doing this. And then Adriana's going, I'm losing this tavern ball and not playing Fallout 4.
No, I won it.
You know?
I opened up my pack of cards, and now I'm doing a disenchant for a bunch of extras, and now I'm crafting cards.
It's gonna give you the stink eye.
You want to know what I was doing?
I wanted to assume the worst.
Well, I was watching porn over here.
Yeah.
No, I said the worst. I'm texting about me.
I know. Pokemon Go was pretty popular, but do you think they'll ever bring a Pokemon RPG to a mobile platform?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You do think?
100%. Because there goes my money.
Yeah, exactly.
I recently, well, I say recently, probably a couple months ago now, did the fingerprint scanners into the credit or into the password to the credit card anymore. So when I'm on the Pokemon Go and it's like I need a raid pass real quick, I just go.
Yeah.
There you go. And there goes 99 cents.
Oh my god.
Every time I go out, I spend $6. There it goes.
Oh my god, man.
It's one of those games. But I'm not like a lunatic, and like I have a limit, and I only do that with Pokemon.
I'm not a lunatic. The famous words of all lunatics.
No, I'm not crazy. No.
I am curious as to what their next game will be. Have they hinted at all? To it?
Niantic?
Yeah, no, Pokemon. I mean, Nintendo. What their next smartphone game will be?
Pokemon.
Something probably Zelda related. If I can.
That'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. BioWare, a report has come out that Anthem, to no one's surprise, is being delayed until 2019.
No.
Anthem, which seems like a
I don't
hugely
give a
ambitious
shit.
game, and I think
Pretty
much across the board.
destiny of EA.
across the board, everyone seems pretty excited for this. It looked fantastic, what little they showed at E3.
I don't think many people have much excitement anymore
Why not?
because of the whole EA
yeah.
thing. There's so many memes out there that just say like, "Look what they're going to do
That's
to
fair.
Anthem."
Yeah. And we're seeing signs of this. Included in this story is Dragon Age is apparently been rebooted to have live elements, and that goes with the same Battlefront stuff, or not the Battlefront, but the Star Wars game that they're working on.
Yeah,
where they've changed it to be a more of an ongoing game.
Dragon Age makes sense though. With live,
Please
stuff.
explain.
So, I've never personally beat a Dragon Age game, but I have seen a completed game, and it seems to me, specifically with Dragon Age Origins as an example, that there's not much to do at the end of the game. But it's an RPG that's kind of like, I guess, like Fallout-esque or whatever, what have you, but in a BioWare style. And it's nice in Fallout and other games like it that you can, continue to do something, build your settlements, there's side quests, what have you. And I'm sure maybe there's some stuff to do, but it makes sense in an RPG to have a character or set of characters or whatever they're going to deal with it that will stay with you, because they said it's going to be still, the BioWare rep that like described this said it's still going to be like a core experience with like single player aspects or like whatever the exact word.
But there will be content continuing on afterwards,
which I'm fine with. Think about it, right? If you had a Dragon Age game, you beat the main story, and the main story has to be the same length as the other games. Beat the main story's gone. Now you're like, shit, I kind of wish I had a couple of quests. Then they add on a portion of the map and say $15. Then you do that, and then.
But here's the thing: I don't think they're going to charge you for it.
See, that is stupid.
I think they're going to say free additional content. However, here's gear that you can buy. And this one might not be as controversial because it's not directly multiplayer. It helps your single player game.
Single player.
Because the problem with the Star Wars Battlefront one was it was a pay to win system. You could literally buy better stuff and get better at the game.
Oh yeah, I've never been cut down as fast as I had by that man that had all purple cards for Kylo. I've never seen a death so quick. What was that? Just dead on the ground.
Yeah. So, but with something like a Dragon Age, which is majority single player, you could I could see you buying items and no one would care as much. You know what I mean? Because if they're considering this a live feature that's going to continue on, How many times are people going to pay $15 for DLC?
See, this is my thing. Is
Well, why call it live then? Why isn't that just DLC?
well, live might insinuate,
Live means that it's continually supported for like a couple years after the game.
yeah,
yeah, but aren't other games already supported for a couple years after the game?
Not in the typical sense. So
Yeah.
a standard Dragon Age game will come out. People will play it for like 2 months or whatever, right? And then 3 months will pass, and a piece of DLC will come out, and then another piece of DLC will come out 3 months after that, or however long, and then the game's done. But something like The Division, it gets constant updates, like major feature updates every couple months or so.
What do they kind of officially call those shared worlds, where it's like multiplayer, and then just also due to the fact that it's multiplayer, it keeps getting expansions, updates, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think that's what they mean when they say it's live, and it's not stagnant. It's not like this is the game you got and that's it. They make changes to the game.
This goes back to the idea of subscription fees. So like let's just pure example. I'm a huge fan of Fallout. Clearly, if Fallout had a
I haven't noticed.
thank you.
With the Fallout shirt on.
If Fallout had a subscription, I do have that on today, don't I? Okay. If Fallout had a subscription fee of like $10 a month, but they kept giving me stuff, and I don't mean aesthetic stuff. I mean, maybe some of the stuff can be aesthetic, but new stuff for my settlements, new stuff for whatever, and it wasn't Creation Club. Creation Club feels like I'm being like kind of like nickel and dimed. But if you're like, give me $10 a month for however long, and we'll only have that subscription open as long as we do the support, and as a result of that, you will be given new places to build, new quests, new parts of the map, new this, new that, new this, and that isn't that I would do that, and I think that's an interesting way to monetize a single player game, but in the same breath, still sell the base game and make sure that base game is competent and full game, like don't cut corners, and make that your regular full retail price. So instead of doing a season pass, I mean, you could even do that. You could do you could literally say, I'm going to do 4 season passes instead of a sub, because the same kind of thing, right? You could play, pay annually
Right.
or pay monthly,
Right.
but it'd be the same idea, it'd be the same price.
But I feel like a lot of developers are getting away from the season pass idea
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's so fucking
because
weird.
they don't want as many people playing their games at all times.
So
So
for multiplayer games, yeah, I think still with single player games, that's still a thing.
For story based
Like Horizon.
games, yeah, that makes sense for that.
Yeah,
But
for like Battlefronts and Overwatches, everything's free.
most of the games we play nowadays are these weird quasi multiplayer games.
Yeah,
So, like you could play The Division alone, essentially, right?
that's
You don't need.
yeah.
people.
I played as much of it alone as I did with other people.
Yeah,
I played it alone quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
And that one DLC, the survival, you can play with people, but it's really a single player, survival of the fittest.
I am excited for a follow up to The Division.
Oh yeah,
The
definitely,
Division 2.
Yeah, like they will have my money on
Which
day.
could be
I won't.
announced-
I won't pre-order it, but they'll have my money on.
which
day
could be
one.
announced, I guess, at the C3, right?
yeah,
Well, it's massive. What's the name of the studio? Massive Dynamic.
massive. I don't know. I just call it massive.
Massive.
I think it's just massive.
Are they working on an
They're working on
Avatar?
another game, but it's not the Division team.
Okay.
They said that at the.
How big is Ubisoft? They must have a million studios.
They probably do. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you ever like sat? Because I watch credits. Have you ever sat through like a set of Ubisoft credits?
There's studios all over the world, right?
Studios everywhere. There are probably people who work for Ubisoft who never expected their name to ever be in a set of game credits. There's just I've never seen a culmination of there's so many people's names in one place. It is ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's incredible that you can do that nowadays, though. You can have like a studio in Japan and a studio in Montreal or in
And just
Toronto,
have them work.
and they
Yeah.
just work.
Yep.
Because they can instantly share all the data too. So that's pretty impressive.
Pretty good.
Ubisoft Taiwan.
Going back to Anthem though, just quickly, are you guys excited for Anthem? You're the only other BioWare fan here, I guess. And Matt doesn't have too much experience with BioWare games, but
Yeah. Like I liked
and this is the Mass Effect guys, the original Mass Effect.
Yeah,
guys.
this is the Mass Effect guys doing what they do, what the Division and Destiny's doing. Yeah, I'm on board.
Mm-hmm.
And if they need an extra year to either fix it or rethink or force EA to rethink what they're doing,
Or to add more loot boxes.
I want to be in that office when it first started coming in. How poorly accepted.
that would have been so good.
You know, when Battlefront 2, all those news stories come out and stuff, and people are complaining and all the. I want to know what they were thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. because there's obviously a group of people in EA or in Dice, is it Dice?
Dice, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, we fucking told them, like
Yeah.
we told them this was gonna happen, and they didn't want to listen, and look what happened. Like I would love to converse with those people.
There had to be someone or a group of people who made the decision to put those loot boxes in too.
Yeah,
and they're probably. I wonder what happened to them, how they're feeling.
Oh, it's so funny.
Force them to take away a huge amount of potential income.
That's so good.
Anyway, yeah, I'm excited for Anthem. It looked fantastic. Like even just like graphically, it looked fantastic. But I wonder how seamless that is going to be, because you remember when they jump like the jetpacks and they fly through like the.
I barely remember anything.
They fly through like the air and they go for a really long way, and there's like creatures walking around and stuff, and I think they dive into water at one point, and is it going to be that seamless?
Probably not.
No, it could be.
That's impressive. No loading, just flying through all this dense.
That
They're
areas.
gonna hide the loading. Like it's gonna be hidden.
Yeah.
That type of smoothness though doesn't feel like BioWare to me. BioWare seems like the world is very specific. There's a specific environment. You're supposed to do specific.
The Mass Effect
things.
games did, yeah.
But I feel like maybe that's their dev style. I mean, that's just my opinion.
The Mass Effect games were never open world until an Andromeda.
Yeah.
That's an open world game.
Well, each planet is open world. So like you go to the planet, you can go wherever you want on that planet.
The entire planet?
Yeah, well, an area of the planet.
Oh, okay.
Not the entire planet. That can't fit on a game, really.
Fuck, No Man's Sky. No Man's
Yeah, but it's like
Those are not full planets.
yeah.
But there's 16 quintillion
And
of them.
they're procedurally
16 quintillion of them.
They're
Yeah.
procedurally generated, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's all the same assets, just in the same shape, which you could argue is the same in our universe. It's all the same atoms, just in different pairings and shapes.
Yeah. Just like us.
We're procedurally generated.
Oh my god.
Actually, every day, the perimeter of the known universe expands.
Voxel based.
We'd see more and more of it every day.
That's weird. I don't like that.
That's pretty fantastic. All right, let's move on here. Speaking of Ubisoft is launching Sam, a virtual assistant who can help you with your Ubisoft games and can give you like details such as the weather in the games.
That is such a Ubisoft name to give.
Sam?
Yeah.
I get a Detroit. Is it Detroit Beyond Union?
Beyond Human.
Human.
Yeah.
I get that type of vibe from this for some reason. I get like they're gonna have like every game is inside of Detroit Beyond Human and like.
But I don't like. This is what makes me angry is that like Sam is a separate app with an AI built into it that is separate from your onboard AI.
Right.
It would be cool if they partnered with like Apple or Samsung or whoever, and I could just say, "Hey Siri, do this,"
Or hey Sam, do that.
or "Hey Sam, what's the weather like in Watch Dogs today?" or whatever this app does. But the fact that they're making me download a separate app that I have to boot up to access is
this an app like on your phone?
Yeah, it's one step too far to be useful. You know what I mean? Siri, I can access at any time. This I have to physically open my phone and go into.
This feels like it would be useful for something like Battlefield, where you're supposed to jump in and out of them.
It would make more sense if that Sam could run in the background of every Ubisoft game going forward.
That'd be cool.
So if you have your mic in, you say, "Hey Sam," and then like it's like or like if you're in Watch Dogs and you're just like walking, you're like, "Hey Sam," like target like or active my main mission, and then that becomes active.
Yeah. So here's some of the things it can do. These are pretty basic things. You can ask for like release dates on Far Cry 5. You can ask it to watch.
Yeah, but you could also do this other AIs.
Yeah.
I don't need
You
the
can ask
Ubisoft
it. You can ask it
one.
to watch trailers. You can ask it for help in certain games like Assassin's Creed or something like that. You can hear story recaps, which might be nice. That's kind of nice.
Maybe, but I can also just go to a Wikipedia page. This sounds dumb.
This sounds like
sounds
it could
dumb.
It
already.
does more than just asking it basic questions. It goes on and says that it can provide a breakdown of your play stats, recommend
Okay.
in-game challenges.
What about game collection?
It can suggest tip videos from YouTube to help you out. And it will eventually be able to analyze your play style to the point where it can point out possible skill upgrades that would be of use to you.
Okay.
I actually think this would be a really cool, like what
I still
Adriano's.
want Siri to do it.
Well,
I hate Siri. I hate Siri so
I'm
fucking
fine with
much.
digital assistants being in certain categories. Like I'll have a game one, I have a general one, I have a whatever, right? An accounting one or something. But like what you said, where it's in every game, it'd be kind of nice to have it in the like Ubisoft game client, whatever it is called now, Uplay or whatever it's called.
Mine still says Uplay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, see, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be called now. But regardless, like the computer, their computer game manager, and then that's your app, and then you could like, I don't know, was it Sam? You said, hey Sam, like add, I don't know, this like non Ubisoft game to my collection, and it'd be like, okay, what console do you have it on, and whatever, and then like let's say I beat Monster Hunter, I could be like, hey Sam, mark Monster Hunter World is complete on PS4. Okay,
Yeah.
That's interesting because then it's giving me curated ads, and I know people hate ads, but I don't mind being told if Ubisoft's releasing a game that fits my playstyle, my games that I play, ones that I like let's say I give it reviews. Like maybe I say, oh, Monster Hunter's complete, Sam, and then Sam goes like, how did you like it? 1 out of 5, or like out of 5, and I say 4. It knows, hey, if a Monster Hunter game comes out from Ubisoft or anyone else, it could suggest that to me, and I like that curation.
Yeah. I don't know. This just seems kind of useless to me. It seems like something that you could just have in the app and you can access yourself if you wanted to.
Yes.
I don't know why you need an AI to... I mean, except for the analyzing stuff, but if I want to look up a stat, I could just look up a stat on myself.
Like the Uplay app does that already.
Yeah.
Like all that's in there. It works. I'm surprised the Uplay app and like the Uplay system works as well as it does. Like I expect that thing to constantly be breaking, but I've never actually had an issue with it.
I don't know where I got all the Uplay points from, but I have an infinite amount
They
now.
have like their own internal achievement system.
In every Ubisoft game I get, I have enough to buy all the unlocks.
Oh yeah, same.
And I'm not running out anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's probably supposed to be like that though, right?
I hope so. All right, our final story for the week: Star Wars Battlefront 2's progression system is being revamped, according to EA.
Christ, that took a long time, eh?
Well, I mean, they need to analyze it, right? They need to see where they went wrong. They need to see what people are complaining about.
No, they didn't need to spend that much time on seeing where they went wrong.
Well, no,
that should have been the fastest part of this
them,
analysis.
Yeah. But they have to figure out a way to...
Ubisoft Club, apparently, is what it's called.
To go forward with this. They haven't announced anything else other than that a new system's coming, though.
What's interesting is like I know we're quick, like we just were slightly quick on the draw, saying like, why didn't you go faster? But you're right, like even though they know it's microtransaction based, it's like, what are the people mad about? Are they mad about progressing the characters? Are they mad about how much the stuff costs? Like, what are they mad about, right? Specifically,
the progression is particularly bad. It's hard to determine. Like, I've played as characters for a bunch of matches, and it will still say level 1. And I'm like, I don't know how to level up this character.
Yeah.
And then other characters that I felt like I didn't play that much are like level 9. And I'm like...
Or like, I'm at 21
what's going on here?
at 21 or something like that for either specialist or officer. I'm like, I barely played this thing. I don't know what...
it's...
and so you have your own profile level, and then each class has its own individual level, and you need to level that up to level up your car. It's just very complex.
That's the same as Battlefield, though.
But it's still complex. It's too many levels to figure out if I need to upgrade something.
I don't necessarily agree with that point because think about it, right? Like, take it into Battlefield where it's a bit simpler of a system. There's just guns, more or less. You're upgrading. You play as Assault for a while. You can now purchase Assault guns, like a new one. Like, it's like, oh, you've unlocked the ability to purchase this with your war bonds, the in-game currency. That it's kind of the same in Battlefront, isn't it? I haven't played it a ridiculous amount, so I'm not really sure. The leveling
It's
is
not
for sure
it's
the
not
same.
clear when your character or your classes level up.
Yeah. It's super weird. Go back to this personal gaming assistant, Sam. The beta is already in this app.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, in the Ubisoft Club.
Yeah.
So go check her out, people.
Wow.
But yeah, it's like it's an interesting. Damn it! What are you doing?
Talking to Sam.
I thought that was Siri. So I was just gonna curse Siri.
That voice is about 10 years old.
It is really... This sounds like the earliest version of Siri.
Oh my Christ, she's still talking.
I know. I don't like this.
All right, close the app.
Okay, let's try this. We have a live demonstration here.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Everyone quiet.
It's a live demo.
I said quiet.
And I said live demo.
Would you like to access the microphone?
Live demo. Failure.
How far have I progressed? What the fuck? How far have I progressed in South Park?
Can the mic hear her?
Sorry, I can track your current objective in game right now. It's a good idea though. I will share that with my dev team as a suggestion. Or you can visit my forum.
Didn't you just say
Her
that she could do
example
that?
was, let's see how far you progress in AC Origins. I'm like, okay, let's see how far I progress in South Park. She's like, I can't do that. She's like, but that's a good idea. I'll pass that on.
I mean, I like the fact that it's passing it along, but
Is it the
a rough live demo for Day One Patch podcast.
That's already fucking dumb. All right, yeah, Battlefront progression. Is that where we were?
Yeah, but they haven't announced anything, so we won't know until we actually see what they're going to do.
Do you think that this is going to hurt the release of possible future Battlefronts?
Not future Battlefronts, but this Battlefront's pretty much a write-off, I think, at this point.
Really? Right? It kind of feels like that.
I think all they can do is lower the price, and that's about it. I don't think they're going to get a huge surge of people coming back to it after their fixes. Yeah,
It makes me think that like it makes me wonder if Battlefront 2 was released free, not now. I'm talking about originally. Would people have freaked out that much?
probably not.
It's a good question, right? Because like if they expect, like, they clearly put the boxes in there to make a bunch of cash. I wonder if they could have really benefited from making it free, and then seeing how much people like played it.
It's just frustrating that a game costs $60 American. It's like $80 here,
We bought the $90 version.
and we bought the $90 version. And then you get
We're
in,
dumb.
and you see not individual items for sale, but a fake currency for sale. Do you know what I mean?
It's almost like the whole Microsoft points thing, where Microsoft eventually just went into dollars.
But what I'm saying is, like, you're buying nothing. Do you know what I mean? So you already paid a bunch of money for this, and then there's the saying, "Hey, we want more money from you, please."
Yeah, of course.
But it's like I already gave you a ton of money.
Yeah, but it's like, but now you could buy more.
$80 is a lot of money.
And get better.
You know what I mean? But it's like, no, please give us more money.
It's
So
not.
it
It's
just-
great.
It doesn't feel like they. And this was EA's problem being voted the worst company in the world. They literally treat their audience like they're just cash cows.
Ever since Peter Moore left.
But it wasn't. But when did he come in though? When was it voted worst company, and when was Peter Moore CEO? I don't know.
After GTA 4, I believe. Yeah, it was after GTA 4 because he's the one that did the tattoo, and everyone always asked him about the tattoo.
You did it. Peter Moore did a GTA tattoo.
GTA 4 tattoo. That's how he revealed GTA 4. He like rolled up his sleeve at E3, and it just said Grand Theft Auto 4 on there. I think it was like a fake tattoo.
But that was at Microsoft, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like it was
Peter
post.
Moore
It was
revealed.
post that. Yeah. He did a joke one too a couple years later, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and everyone always asks him, and he always comes out and he goes like, "No, none of that."
Yeah. I like Peter Moore. I'm sad he's gone, but he's having the time of his life, I guess now.
Yeah. I think he always wanted to get into soccer.
Yeah, that's crazy. Another thing that Star Wars announced, though, a jetpack cargo game mode is coming. Everyone's given a jetpack, 8v8, and then you just jetpack around the map and kill each other.
I can dig it.
Limited time event.
I do out of like all the Battle Point people you can buy, like you can unlock,
jetpack.
The jetpack's the one I always go for.
Yeah. Their gun's always super nice.
Yeah,
Which I really like.
yeah.
All right, that's it for the stories, but I do have one last topic
Do it up.
that we can discuss in our remaining 7 minutes. Sea of Thieves is in
Ooh, this is gonna be good.
It's currently in a beta, and I was reading a preview from IGN with Matt, and there's some concerns that I just wanted to discuss. Now, none of us have played the beta, so this is all secondhand experience for us. But a couple of the key takeaways this person had was a problem with the upgrades system. Okay, or the progression system, I guess.
Right.
Everything is aesthetic, with the exception of the blunderbuss.
Well, okay.
So when you're playing this game for hours and hours and hours on end, all you're doing is upgrading your aesthetics. You're not actually upgrading your ship with like faster sails or
And when you say
better,
aesthetics for your
better
character,
cannons
the aesthetics. When you say aesthetics, you're upgrading
for your character.
for your character or for your ship. As
I don't
well?
know if the ship has aesthetics? I would imagine so, though.
I think they showed off a
If
couple
I-
different aesthetics at E3, if I remember
If I was
correctly.
designing a game, I'd have a customizable ship. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But regardless, customizability.
Okay,
So the person was saying that he doesn't feel like it's worth playing hours and hours and hours on end for a pair of socks.
yeah, he's not wrong. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, this is in beta, and the developers are still making changes, but I don't think they're going to add in a complete overhaul of where you can upgrade your ship to have like a faster ship or something. You know what I mean?
I was speculating, because you mentioned this briefly before, and I was speculating that it's possible that they are not letting people progress, like in terms of level and that type of thing, and like getting more guns and stuff, until the game comes out, because it's so close to launch that it's possible that these profiles these guys have made are going to roll over and not be wiped. And therefore, if they just look different, it's like, okay, it's not unfair. Everyone gets to start on the launch day. But you're right, though. If like that's a large thing to cut out, but why have the blunderbuss as an upgradable actual like thing?
And what's weird is the Rare says that this game is not combat oriented.
What?
Combat is not the main thing you're supposed to be doing in this game.
It's supposed to be a loot game, right?
You're supposed to be exploring, getting treasure, getting back to your ship, and sailing the ocean.
That sucks though. If you can't get like I want to go in there and like maybe find a bunch of treasure, get a bunch of gold, go to the nearest town, and upgrade my ship.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I don't want to be like, oh man, I got a new hat.
So it sounds like your ship's going to remain the same forever.
That's what I hate about the 2 Assassin's Creed games that had ships. I'm like, let me fucking get a bigger ship. What are you doing over
You
there?
can upgrade the ship, but you can't get a bigger one, though.
Yeah, you could upgrade the ship. It's because you have the middle one, a brig. You can upgrade that thing to be stronger than a man of war,
But it's tiny.
but it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, I would love to have a bigger ship, because at certain missions they put you on like you're actually using it for a specific mission. So you like take command of another one for the sake of story. I'm like, oh fucking, you just let me have this ship. Just give me this fucking ship.
So another problem that this person brought up was the explorability of this game, and how there's not actually much to do in the game itself. And this was my fear, is that everyone all the journalists who played it at E3 that first year had fun doing the ship combat. And I'm like, sure, that's great. I can't wait to try that out myself. But what's the rest of the game going to be doing? And apparently it's looking for treasure, back to the ship. Looking for treasure, back to the ship.
See, I'm fine with that. Like I was expecting
Forever?
that. I was expecting like a massive, like procedurally generated or massive world, and we would be like, we'd all meet up at like I don't know, Tortuga. We'd all meet up in Tortuga,
Yeah.
and then we'd all be like, oh man, let's. None of us have been to like I don't know the Gulf of Mexico or something. Let's go to the Gulf of Mexico and see if there's any islands in the middle. Because it's probably not accurate, and we would go running around and go find some islands out there and be like, oh man, there's some caves in here and stuff. That's what I was expecting, and I'm fine with.
But how many times can you look at a cave? Here's a new cave. Here's a new
You
cave.
can look at a hell of a lot of caves if the loot is dynamic enough, if the loot is worth it, which it sounds like it's not, and if the path in the cave is difficult. Like if we went to the Gulf of Mexico, let's say, go in the center and it's pretty easy, but then we're like, oh man, there's Florida, that's mainland. Let's go check that out. We go over there, maybe it's not civilized yet or whatever, right? There's no towns. So we're like, oh man, let's go in the jungle, and we find like an Aztec ruin and it's super freaking dangerous.
Right.
That type of stuff's cool because then we're like, oh, we'll come back. We go and loot, play the game for a couple of days, come back, do the Aztec ruin, get something better. Now we can go to a harder area. Like in a multiplayer setting, that makes sense. Like Ghost Recon, prime example. Ghost Recon. How many times have we like protected the radio or like collected the cell phones or like taken pictures of documents?
Yeah, but see, the difference is those are on our way to a greater mission.
But those greater missions are clear out the base. We are clearing out the base.
Yes,
and then
but the
clearing all
goal,
stuff
but the
outside
goal,
base.
the goal is take out that boss, take out that lieutenant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here it's nothing.
Here it should be.
There's no overall end to this game.
So it's pretty much the Division's Dark Zone, but
Forever.
but only the Dark Zone and nothing else.
Yeah. Now this is one.
How the hell did this take them that long?
This is one man's preview of this game in a closed beta. Okay. So
Yes,
I
take this with
encourage
a grain of salt.
I encourage people to go read other previews if they're out there, if GameSpot or whoever else has previews up.
Giant Bomb. That's my go-to.
Giant Bomb. Go read the reviews and play the beta for yourself. And
Maybe is it closed? Is it closed beta?
Yeah.
Or open?
Closed beta.
Let me ask you guys a question. Did I interrupt you? Were you going to say another point?
I was just gonna say I'm probably not gonna pick this up day one. I'm gonna wait for reviews at least.
I'm gonna Game Pass it regardless.
and see what happens.
You're gonna Game Pass it regardless.
Yeah, but no. Well, okay. Now one second here. Let me get my question out here.
Yeah.
So what in this game? So
No further questions.
well, all three of us were looking at getting it and playing it. What would be a game breaker based on this guy's based on this guy's analysis of the closed beta? Is that a game breaker for you? A deal breaker for you? And if not, what would be a deal breaker?
If it's quite literally the way I don't know, Ryan, whoever's previewing this, he says an IGN guy.
It's IGN, yeah.
If it's quite literally what he says it is, that would be a game breaker for me.
Because you want to upgrade, you want more cannons, more sails, faster ships, better swords.
Or I'll take something in the other direction. Give me a story for me to follow through on, and have the exploration as a thing as well.
Yeah.
Like make Wildlands, but you're Sea of Thieves. If there's different pirate lords for us to have to take over, and we have to slowly grind our way there while exploring, that would be fine with me. But if it's quite literally how this guy is
describing it,
yeah,
it almost sounds like this is more focused on the multiplayer, where it's literally us three are in a party. Let's go attack that other ship. And it's they're trying to make it evenly matched. So they're not really focusing. We're thinking single player game, but a shared lobby.
Right.
They're probably thinking multiplayer game. I guess.
But here's the thing: I'm not denying this game will be fun. I'm just wondering for how long. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure the day one when we get it, we're gonna have fun going after other players, fighting in our ships. Exploring the islands around us. But then, come a couple weeks, you're still gonna have fun doing that. I don't know.
See, I would absolutely if it was the AC thing where it's the Man of War is something I need to get, and it has 100% more cannons than the base model.
Yeah.
So therefore, I need to collect a bunch of wood and get a bunch of gold and bribe some people and blah 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 blah.
This was my problem with No Man's Sky too, and I regret not listening to myself when it came out.
Yeah, that was weird. I told you it was probably going to be bad, and you bought it anyway.
I thought it was going to be bad, too, because I remember having podcasts where I talked about it doesn't excite me whatsoever because I've not seen anything that's excited me.
Right.
But when it came out, I started reading people online. Everyone was enjoying it because the first couple hours are magical.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I got excited, bought it, had my magical hours, and then it was the game it turned out I thought it was going to be. So,
But you had fun in those first hours, right?
It's not worth $80. That's what I regret.
Yeah, that's fair. See, this is why I think maybe even for you, because you were talking about expanding your Xbox collection, the Game Pass is just kind of a no-brainer for you.
Yeah,
and at that point, it's if
might as well download it.
If you download it and you don't like it, you can either cancel your Game Pass and then the game was $10.
Even so, if I'm going to be buying Game Pass regardless, there's no skin off my back to download.
As soon as Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
It doesn't matter. It's not like you have limited data here.
Yeah. So.
Not yet.
Time will tell. I encourage you also to read the article itself by James Dugan from IGN.
Yeah, I downloaded the IGN app. I'm going to read it now.
So he does have some positive stuff in there. I don't want to make him sound like he completely just shat on the game or anything like that. He said that he's hopeful about it, and that there are moments that he sees potential. So,
but like we were saying, it's not good that he sees potential that wasn't already taken advantage of.
He should have seen it. He should have seen what the game should have been.
Yeah.
But again, this is one man's perspective.
And in a closed beta.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep an eye on Sea of Thieves. I think we all are. And that's all I got for the podcast. So
do I have a quick question, quick philosophical?
We don't, but I'll take it.
Philosophical corner.
What's the other option?
Philosophical corner.
Query corner.
Query corner. Sure, you guys
That's
call it
dumb.
whatever you want. So somebody mentioned earlier, it came up. It's how do you rate that, whatever? And one of you said, "Oh, it's a 1 out of 5 for me."
We said that today.
Just now, it was very passive, okay, but it has nothing to do with it. It made me think though of the question that I wanted to ask. How do you determine what is a 1 out of 5 star? What is a 2 out of 5 star? And this is specifically for stars because this is out of a 5 system. Because you never have a out of 10 Like people rate things out of 5, or people rate things out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
or people rate things out of stars. But the stars are always seem to be 5 stars. Like you don't see it out of 10 stars. So what is it? What?
10 stars sounds crazy.
It sounds weird.
Yeah.
But 5 stars seems to be okay. I never understood that. What is a 1 star? What is a 2 star? What is a 3 star? What is a 4 star? What is a 5 star?
Generally speaking, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, 5 stars is probably the easiest to define.
Perfect.
But not, I wouldn't say perfect because nothing's perfect.
But it's-
the best it could be.
Okay.
Excellent.
From there, I don't know. It gets murky, right?
And would you ever consider doing like a point, like a half system in there,
But then
like
you're
a 3.5?
That is 10 stars.
Because then it turns into tens.
Yeah.
I would say the 0.5 system can be used for sure.
See, I don't.
But there's also the argument of if you have a 10 scale system, 1 to 5 is basically don't buy the game.
Yeah, like
So-
a 5 out of 10 might as well be a 1 out of 10. Like it does, it's
Yeah.
completely useless.
Yeah.
So I've adopted. I don't know if you use because you've recently joined Goodreads,
Yeah.
and we are friends
Well,
on Goodreads now.
I've had it, but I haven't used it
Okay.
actively yet.
So I also use that for my reviews now,
Mm-hmm.
and I've pretty much adopted their star system for me across the board because they don't do halves; they only do whole stars, and they actually labeled each one.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 star is I did not like it, 2 star is it was okay, 3 star is I liked it, 4 star is I really liked it, and 5 stars is it was amazing.
Right.
And I think that's what I've determined to be my star rating. So even if I did not like it, it's always still a 1 star.
What's funny-
There's value somewhere.
What's funny is that the 2 it's okay, right?
Yeah.
But that falls below the 50% average, or the 50%.
If
line.
you were to scale it up.
Yeah, which would generally be a not okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say a 2 would be like so. For example, a 1 would be.
A 1 to me is don't do this. Don't.
Well,
Yeah,
one is
same
definitely a
with me.
don't
Yeah.
buy, but I would say like a 1 is something like the game is not great and it's also very buggy, or like there's technical issues. 2 is like maybe there aren't any technical issues, but the game isn't fun, so therefore it's not.
I'd
great.
say, or vice versa.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's tough, I guess, then to apply that to games. For me specifically, is because I use that for book reviews. Like the only like one of the few things you can complain about besides the content of a book is maybe like grammatical or
Just structure.
like structure altogether. But then that would also go back to
That would be like a 1.
Content.
That would be a 1. Like your content can be so bad that it is a 1.
But
Generally speaking, like it'd probably be like technically.
yeah.
like,
But
like,
what I'm saying though is I can't give a book a bad review for being physically broken. Like
right. There's no
that
glitch.
can't happen.
There's no glitch unless
There's no-
unless the printer went to hell.
Yes,
and just,
but
yeah.
like- that is-
if the
that
person
is
writes
ash-
in a strange style, or if the person
But that
the
goes
person
back
does
to
too many paragraphs.
that goes back to content, not
Yes.
to
physical
properties.
properties.
Properties of the book.
Yeah.
You're saying if a game's
Oh, I
broken,
gotcha,
you can
I
knock
gotcha.
over that. Yeah, but you like that is virtually. There's no scenario that I can ever think of which you would have to do that with the book.
Unless the pages just flew out when you opened
Yeah,
the book.
unless- They rip with that binding,
unless like it very specifically pisses you off. Like there's one point in one of my there's a prequel to Watchmen called Before Watchmen, and it's a altered universe version. Whereas at one point you flip a page and all the cells are upside down, all the frames are upside down, and they actually force you to take the book and flip it. And then now as you're reading this in the alternate universe, you're actually flipping the other way, and it seems like you're actually flipping backwards when you're not. And then at one point they have you flip it right side up again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be the only time which I think you could possibly apply the.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think that counts really because it's not a glitch that led to that, right?
It's not a glitch that led to that, but like
It's a design
that is
choice.
the closest thing that I can fathom in my head.
I'd say it would have to be literally like they printed it on like the crappiest paper, and the spine is like super weak, and the pages would just fall out on every single book they produced.
I've had that happen to me on a book.
I would say then this book is not produced well.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I've had that happen in a book. I've had them send me a replacement, and the replacement book also did that.
But yeah,
Yeah. All right. I'm just curious about your thoughts. I think I've adopted Goodreads.
I think that's the most accurate
Yeah, one,
for most people's standards.
Did not like it. It's not that I say it was bad. It's just to say I did not like it.
because that's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
your opinion, right?
Yeah.
So it really is. I didn't like it, not
Yeah.
that it's a bad game.
It's a bad game.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. We're on the iTunes. Leave us a review there, please, and
Google
like.
Play Music.
Google Play Music.
Spotify?
No,
Is that
we're
a
not, I
thing?
don't think we're on Spotify. They're selective with their stuff. Wherever else podcasts are sold for free.
Or streamed, you mean? Streamed or downloaded?
Streamed or downloaded.
Wherever
yeah.
else you listen to podcasts. There you go.
And we're on the YouTube. We've got Let's Plays going up there. And also the podcast if you want to listen to it on there. If you're one of those people. And,
Got the LA Noir going up every week.
Does that still go up?
What are you doing over there? You look like you were like suddenly very like surprised by something.
The audio.
The audio from the TV. Does the
podcast goes up.
still go up on YouTube?
Yeah.
I've been making title cards. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used them.
Okay.
Used it last week.
I don't know if I made one for this episode. I might have forgot to do that.
Do it up.
I'll do one.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Peace.